Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Your local alien is back, this time with another Tomodachi Game reaction. So, in the last episode of Tomodachi Game, we had five friends who we don't know how long they've known each other or how well they know each other, really anything about their relationship, to be honest. But they are going on a school trip and they needed to collect money for it. And then all of a sudden, the money for their school trip went missing. And then the next day, two of the friends stopped coming to school. After that, the main character wound up in a room with all of his other friends. And it turns out that one of them owes 20 million yen. 20 million yen is about $150,000. So not as much as I thought it was, but that's still quite a lot, especially for a high school student. Um, and then the 2 million yen that they stole is about 15,000 ish dollars. Um, so that's a lot of money to steal. So someone stole that money, so that could be the entry fee for this game, where if they all win, then the debt is paid. But if they lose, then each individual person accrues their own debt. And they're like, oh, we're friends, so of course, let's do this, we're all in this together. And then the first game comes around, and they're immediately betraying each other because if they turn on their friends, their own debt is reduced. If you were gonna do that, like, why even bother saying that we're all friends, so we're gonna take this on together? Like, why didn't you just say, nah, I'm out, whoever owes the money, tough luck, we'll find out a different way to do this, rather than going into the game and then immediately betraying your friends. So the episode ended with MC figuring out that his friends have betrayed him and they're trying to stack all the debt onto one person. But before answering the final question, he's like, yo, anyone know what color this chick's underwear is? And that's how it ended. So, wild ending. And let's just see what that is even about. So, without further ado, let's get into this. That was an alright opening. Not really something I'd see getting stuck in my head or anything,
You're
but
the one
alright.
who's so into space's bright red.
Why is he
Why are
acting
you
like
being
he's
so
drunk
shy?
or something?
You're not gonna say a word. Because if you did, the debt you worked so hard to cut down would come right back. It was written there on my card, plain as day. Only I knew. But the penalty for last place is supposed to go to the person with the lowest amount of debt.
Having succeeded in reducing your debt, you're highly confident that you'll win. Now to aim the last place penalty at
I
your
mean, there's no reason for the trader not to believe it, because they don't know what was written on the
In
card.
the exact moment you're about to pull the trigger, you discover that you were the one being hunted all along. All you can do is wait quietly.
Oh, come on, guys. That was obviously a joke. I was just trying
A
to shake
joke.
things up. I know that there isn't a traitor.
This
Because I
dude.
trust all of you. The answer couldn't be anything but yes. Right, guys?
He's
That
like,
choice he made, it
right?
was his last warning.
I mean, after this, nobody's gonna trust him except that girl who has a crush on him.
You answered right!
Giri's certainly not an average high school student. Still, clearing
Yeah,
the game
because he
will bring
sounds like he's
consequences.
27. He looks like he's 27. I'm pretty sure he's
After all,
not a high school
Done
kid
cannot
at
be
all.
undone. He has planted a
He's
seed
a
of
college
doubt that will
kid.
poison them.
Nah, he's
Bitter end.
he at this point is in the business world, and he did a real life without
I have to
even
find a
realizing
traitor
it.
before this- Hey, guys. How much debt do you have right now?
We should all owe the same thing. The first game reduced our 4 million
This
yen
is
debt
what I
by
was saying
400,000, so
in
it's
the last
3.6 million.
episode. They can
yeah,
say
same
how
goes
much
for
they
me, too.
owe.
Mine
That
hasn't
doesn't
gone
mean
down by more
it
than
actually
1,000.
is what they owe.
Should we all show the backs of our name tags?
You can't do that.
Let's start fresh in the second game and trust each other more.
How could anyone trust this guy? He's so two-faced.
My shoe is untied.
Fine,
How did that
it'll
happen?
Go without you.
No way. The words are disappearing.
But he'll have to hurry. We used a special vanishing ink for certain sections.
I'm fine. Don't worry. What did you come back in here?
Just casually place
was
them in
hoping
their
we could talk.
pockets.
How do you
feel about all of this and be honest with me.
I feel like I can't trust any of you
Really
guys.
believe that one of us could be a traitor?
It's already been proven. What are you talking
'Cause I was
about?
thinking the same thing. I wish I didn't, but
And
I
he's
do.
made it clear that he
You know
doesn't
who it
trust
is,
any of
please
you.
Tell me. And if you're not sure, at least tell me who you suspect the most.
I can't say
You?
for certain, but based on my gut, I'd probably guess you.
What did I do?
When you
Something
came back
said
into the
before
room.
first game.
If you ask me, I think we should skip right past trying to figure out who
Exactly.
Zen is.
That isn't the
Suspicious.
Sawaragi I know.
I suspected that you had stolen the money.
Because he's poor, so you
Oh, wait,
automatically
I get it.
assumed.
Because I'm the one who's broke, right?
That's not true. I swear that
It's
wasn't
pretty
it.
true.
Well, then what other reason is there?
It's
You talk about,
because-
oh,
Just
you don't have a
spit it
cell
out.
phone.
The reason is because I like you, Yuichi. It wasn't out of pity.
Why is he blushing?
All right, enough. I understand.
Why is he just like, okay, you like me, whatever.
So, after
Like-
all this, do you still suspect me?
Yuichi, no matter what happens, I won't betray you. And I'll trust in whatever you say.
Sure, girl.
Let's get through this nightmare together.
Because there's always someone waiting to sabotage the bonds you've worked so hard to establish.
Weren't they supposed to all go to the next game? Why are they all just going back to the room and then the other guy's like, okay, there goes another one.
How did we get on the roof? That's funny. I figured
How did
we'd
they
still be
catch up?
inside.
And don't hold back, because the gods are watching over you from up in the sky.
I don't really find characters like this annoying.
So these are like the spaces?
Yes, but
Where
this
did
is
those come
bad
from?
luck, Suguru. Step into this booth one at a time and write a nasty. At the end of each round, I will collect
I wonder
the
if
comments.
this will play
then I'll read
into
them
last
aloud.
episode
Ta-da!
where that
You
long
to
hair
be
girl
Kokorogi
was like, oh,
upside
tell me a
is
secret,
cheese.
something nobody else in our friend group
Makoto
knows.
Shibe wears a wig. Hey, Yuichi Katagiri is actually quite rich. We'll survey the viewers. Those benevolent gods whose funding makes the Tomodachi Game possible.
Viewers?
Are we part of some show?
Then once you land on a space, you follow the instructions like
Imagine
a
if
regular
this
board
really
game.
were a show.
So, the
And like
survey is used to
they just
determine
took
each
people
player's
off the
popularity, and
streets,
the least
didn't tell
popular will
them
have a higher
that
score.
it's a
Yes,
game
but
show.
to keep things
They just
interesting, the
recorded
first
them
person to
betraying
reach the
each
final
other.
space- As soon as one of you gets to the end, the game is cleared. However, anyone left on the board will be charged an additional debt of 1 million yen. On the other hand, it's okay for those people to skip the third game. They can even go home for a while.
We can go home?
Expose as many awful things
What do you
about your
mean,
friends as you
for
can
a
until
while?
someone sinks too low into that bottomless pit to recover.
How could we treat each other so badly?
You can always
You just
turn in a
did.
blank card. We skipped the God survey for that round, and all of you get to move ahead by a single space on the board.
We're such close friends, we'll never betray each other.
Thanks, Yuichi.
Are you forgetting literally the last game?
Totally. Best buddies.
Okay,
This
we'll
dude.
reach the goal together.
This is like the
Lose money too?
one game,
tell us about
that
that
one
boss?
gambling game in
I said it was like
Kakaraguri
a board game.
season 2.
If it
Towards the
increases by
end.
100,000 with every space, our total debt will be 6 million yen.
This time,
Can't you?
we received a card that isn't blank.
Quicker than I had expected.
Because
Give us a juicy piece of gossip.
we haven't seen
You
them
got a
like turn
small
it
piece to
around
do.
while
It may
people
look petty to us, but for a close-knit group like this, it could
submit
be
their
completely
cards, so
devastating to their relationship.
shouldn't they be able to see
Let's
if
take a
somebody's
look, shall
writing
we?
something?
It says Shiho Sawaragi likes Yuichi Katagiri. It also says Shiho Sawaragi used to date Tenji Mikasa.
Why are you so relaxed? If I didn't know any better, I would say you already knew Shiho liked you. Were both of you just
He
making
was
fun of me
relaxed
behind my back or something?
before
I'm obviously
anyway.
crazy about her.
Shiho and I were together, so I'd say I know her quite well.
My father is a police officer. Mikasa's dad was a prosecutor. They decided when we were really young that the two of us would get married one day. We felt like we had to keep up the appearance of being a couple. Until Mikasa's father passed away 2 years ago. No, neither one of us ever had any.
I actually liked you. It's true, and I'm still in love with you.
What the frick is this?
Which is why
She likes him,
all this
and she
time,
likes
I have
him,
hated you,
and
Shibe.
then Shibe and this
Made me
guy
sick
like
how you
her.
thoughtlessly burdened her with your clumsy advances. No, because you were the one who wrote it.
But that makes no sense! How could anyone
The
else
way-
have known
You and Shio
The way he
dated.
screamed, that makes no sense.
That would have made me the top suspect. Why would I be so stupid? Despite your feelings, you're the only one of us who's truly just a friend. How sad.
Wow. You did not need to say that, dude.
Stop it, you two!
You're so lucky, Shiho. All the boys fall in love with you. And Yuichi will too, probably.
Okay, so they can't see.
It's your turn
But
now.
shouldn't they be able to tell, hey, you took 20 seconds in there when it should have only taken 2?
Let's see. This time we have 3 submissions. And Shiho's had plastic surgery. Here are the
She's in
results
high
of the
school.
survey.
Unless it's corrective surgery.
Love may not follow this rule, but there is no such thing as an unconditional friendship.
Girl, are you okay? Oh, so it was corrective then. I liked that ending a lot more than the opening, but that's usually the case with anime for me. So in this second episode, we got some secrets. Love Pentagon, I guess. Obviously the short-haired girl likes main character. Long-haired girl likes main character. Weird haircut guy likes long-haired girl. Shibe likes long-haired girl. And MC likes no one, I guess. He's the only one who's just like, yo, why can't we just be friends? And then, Shibe is jealous of bad haircut dude and kind of tense with main character too. And then short hair girl is kind of jealous of long haired girl. Okay. Convoluted. That's a lot to reveal in just the second episode when we still don't really know these characters very well. Then there's a secret of long-haired girl having plastic surgery, and we saw in the opening that she had like a scar on her chest, so it's probably corrective surgery. And a big thing we learned this episode is that there's an audience of some sort. I don't know if that's actually just the 2 ladies who are determining this, or if there actually are other people watching this and voting. If that is the case, then this is a really weird system. Yuichi, the main character, he's like the least trusting of all of them and the most two-faced. Like, it's one thing to try to backstab somebody secretly when they can't see you. It's another to just completely flip right in front of your friends and be like, you guys are gonna say yes, aren't you? Isn't that correct? Or else your debt's gonna be doubled. But there's no traitor here, right? I know you guys are gonna say yes. Isn't that right? He just has a completely different mode, which we did see a bit of in the first episode when they were first kidnapped and they were explaining how the game was gonna go, and they said that somebody owed money, and they used the school trip money to pay for it. He immediately was just like, what? One of us is the traitor? And then throughout the episode, you progressively saw him getting darker and darker. And during the game, the first game, when Shibe got his card, he was immediately like, what's that look for? Just right off the bat, he immediately suspected Shibe. And then his suspicions and lack of trust grew with every round. So he just already has trust issues. I don't know if that's because his parents aren't around and maybe something happened to them. We did see his mom was in the hospital. So I don't know what happened, but he has some trust issues. He suspects the worst in people. That's very interesting because he's the one who's most trying to keep their friend group together the hardest. So it's interesting that he's also the most suspicious. Now, lopsided haircut guy. I don't think he's the one with the debt. I think he just is jealous that long hair girl likes Yuichi, and now he's acting out because he's in this stressful situation and he already was strained enough knowing Shibe liked her, and now hearing her confess to main character, it's got him feeling some type of way, basically. But I don't think he's the one who stole the money. Shibe is a little too obvious, really. I don't know, because I don't know yet if this show is clever or not. I don't know if it's going to be a lazy thing or a clever thing. Because if it's a clever thing, then it won't be Shibe. But if it's a lazy thing, then it will be him. You know? Because he is just. The way he constantly talks about money, he clearly feels insecure. He probably doesn't actually have the money anymore. He's probably just trying to put up a facade. And the fact that just the way he's kind of been progressively throughout the game, he's been getting more and more tense as it goes on. Especially in the second game, once the first secret was revealed, he immediately switched. Like, he was out for some vengeance at that point. So what's interesting about this game compared to the last game is, the last game, you didn't know who sabotaged things. If you were the second person and you got the card, then you would know that it was Shibe who sabotaged it, but us, the viewer, we don't know because we only saw the conditions for the card when it got to the fourth person. So we know that the fifth person is cleared, and we know that it's not MC, so it's one of the other three. Whereas in this game, we know that it's more than one person who's sabotaging things. So, for instance, in the first round, there was one person who wrote that. It obviously wasn't Shibe, because it's very unlikely that he would have known about their previous relationship. I don't think MC would have known about their previous relationship, and I really don't know anything at all about that short-haired girl, but she did mention that she's not as close to everyone else, so she probably wouldn't know about their previous relationship. But in the next round, 3 people wrote something on a card. So in this game compared to the last game, we can actually tell how many traitors there are, whereas in the first game it was like there's at least 1. Now we can say there's 3 right now. So that is interesting. But the same question I had in the first episode, this is progressing rather quickly, and I'm hoping that this whole aspect of not being able to trust each other, secrets coming out, oh, what should we do, whatever, I hope that doesn't get old too quickly, because this anime is already progressing further along than I would have expected for just 2 episodes. And we still don't know enough about the characters to feel that their betrayal is a big deal. We don't know how long they've known each other, except for bad haircut guy and long-haired girl. They're the only ones that we know, okay, they've known each other since childhood. Everyone else, it's like, how long have you known each other? How do you know each other? How strong really is your friendship? How much do you know about each other? We just don't know these things. But yeah, that was episode 2 of Tomodachi Game. So far, it's interesting. It's keeping my interest. But yeah, I am concerned about not being attached to any of these characters. And the messy love pentagon is also not my forte. But we'll just see where this takes us.